In the continued authoritarian nepotist, is that a word? Cronyistic slide, Donald Trump, in the wake of the announcement of UN Ambassador Nikki Haley's resignation for unknown and questionable reasons, possibly involving a federal ethics probe that's been requested, Donald Trump has said that there could be no one more competent in the world to replace UN Ambassador Nikki Haley than his own daughter, Ivanka Trump. Now, you probably are hearing me say this and you're thinking, David, you must have misunderstood. It must be an Onion article or a really good impression on SNL. It can't really be that Trump said something like this. Oh, no, it's on video. That's exactly what Donald Trump said. Take a look at this.
I've heard a lot of names. I've heard Ivanka. I've heard how good would Ivanka be. The people that know, there's nothing to do with nepotism, but I want to tell you, the people that know that Ivanka would be dynamite. But, you know, I'd then be accused of nepotism, if you can believe it, right?
Can you believe
yes.
it?
I think Ivanka would be incredible. That doesn't mean I'd pick her because you'd be accused of nepotism. Even though I'm not sure there's anybody more competent in the world, but that's okay. But we are looking at numerous people.
I like that. You know, Ivanka, my own daughter would be the best person to actually be ambassador to the UN. But if you can believe this crazy thing, I'd be accused of nepotism. Yeah, I can believe it. That's the definition of nepotism.
Well, I'm going to defend the president here for a second because in Trump's circles, perhaps Ivanka is the most competent one. Like,
Maybe
he had
so.
people like Scaramucci working for him and Kellyanne Conway and Sean Spicer. Ivanka's better than all of them.
But he said not the most qualified in D.C. or in my administration. He said the most competent in the world. I love how he says nepotism, like forgetting about nepotism for a second, Ivanka would be the best, but people would say nepotism. So that's the problem. The problem is not that he immediately starts thinking about, could I put a member of my family in this position maybe? He goes to, it would be something that the left would slam me for, unfairly, of course. Would Ivanka Trump be considered as ambassador to the UN, as a possibility, by any other president or even by any other person outside of Trump's family were Trump not president? The answer is no. She would only even enter someone's mind as a possible ambassador to the UN on the basis of being Trump's kid, which means, of course, that it is nepotism. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know people in the audience may not like this. If Donald Trump wants Ivanka as ambassador to the UN, Trump probably gets Ivanka as ambassador to the UN, right? The debasement of our politics and of all that is good and proper means Trump probably wouldn't be stopped. I mean, who would do it? Are Republicans in the House or Senate going to punish Trump for making Ivanka ambassador to the UN? No. If Trump wants her in there, like, I'm not saying he actually wants her in there, but if he did, Fox and Friends would start talking about, why not Ivanka? She knows everybody. She's well-liked. She's respected. I mean, great person, great body. Trump has told us about her great body many times. It was weird when he said it, but he did. I don't think they stop it if Trump really wants this.
I mean, there are anti-nepotism laws on the books, but they could skirt around them. That's how they got Ivanka into the White House as an advisor.
Unpaid.
You just don't pay her.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sacrifice she would be willing to make.
This would be different. This seems as though it would go against 5 U.S. Code subsection 3110 about the employment of relatives. But who cares? Because it hasn't mattered so far. And the law says that during a national security crisis, the president all of a sudden can appoint a relative. They'll say, there are Mexicans pouring in. It is a national security crisis. Therefore, Ivanka as ambassador to the UN. Or the Russia probe is a national security crisis. We've got to put Ivanka Trump in as ambassador to the UN.
And Ivanka Trump, she knows China. She knows Japan.
Absolutely.
She knows India. She's the perfect fit.
I would say don't stop here. I would say go further. Donald Trump Jr. for Secretary of State. Get the North Korea thing straightened out once and for all. Pompeo's failing. Put in Don Jr.
Barron Trump can be head of cybersecurity
Of course.
policy. And Tiffany Trump, maybe like deputy press secretary, but none
He
of the
really
big
doesn't like
stuff.
her.
Yeah.
Trump really doesn't like Tiffany, does he?
No.
This is the third ring of the circus, okay? It's all coming full circle. We've got the debasement of our politics and culture to grotesque lows. We've got, as I've mentioned twice now in the last 48 hours, the radicalization of institutions of government, including the Supreme Court, including the Environmental Protection Agency, our voting systems, the courts, media, and then the fully authoritarian, I would call it a denouement, of officially pushing his family into positions of power. Official positions, not just, I have an office near daddy's and I hang out but nobody pays me. We're in real trouble. You had better vote next month. Seriously. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. The show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show, and we'll be back after this. What would it look like if we all listened more? Listening to audiobooks can motivate us, can inspire us, it can bring us closer together, and there's no better place to listen than Audible, because now Audible members get even more. There's exclusive audio fitness programs, audiobooks, Audible originals, and more. They've got the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet, and now with Audible originals, the selection has even more custom content made just for members. Every month, Audible members get 1 credit, good for any audiobook they choose, plus 2 Audible originals from a changing selection that they can't get anywhere else. They also get access to audio fitness and health workouts created exclusively for Audible. Plus, your books are yours to keep. With Audible, you can go back and re-listen anytime, even if you cancel your membership. Don't like your audiobook? Exchange it, no questions asked. I recently listened to Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari. Excellent, excellent book. I encourage you to start a 30-day trial, and your first audiobook will be free. Go to audible.com/Pakman or text Pakman, Pakman, to 500-500 on your phone. That's audible.com/Pakman or text Pakman to 500-500. You can do it with audiobooks.